Hey, it's Tiffany with Standing Promises. We are doing a study this month of the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5. So I'm going to read those for you and we'll talk about the second one. Blessed are those who mourn. So, chapter 5, verse 1 says, Now, when he saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. So we're talking today about the second one, which is verse 4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. We talked a little bit the last couple days about mourning and different things and how we can be comforted. Mourning can be many different things. It can be a death. It can be something that you're longing for, that the time passes and you know that it's not going to happen anymore the way that you wanted it to. Mourning can be a loss of something other than a death. It can be a loss of a job, a loss of a marriage, a loss of a friendship. You can mourn for lots of different things, but mourning is when you're, and this is my kind of definition when I think of mourning, is just when you are sad about something that's out of your control, something that you have lost, or that you feel like time has passed without this thing coming to be, or something that you can't get back, or something that you wanted that you didn't get. And there's a mourning, it's a brokenheartedness that those are the moments when God can come and bring you comfort. And I was thinking about a time in my life when I felt that comfort and that peace that He brings when you're in mourning, when you are sad about something you can't control. And that happened to me. It's been a few years back. In September 2010, I went to the hospital feeling very short of breath, and I felt very much like I was having a panic attack, and just not really sure what was going on, maybe a heart attack. We didn't know at the time, and we got there, and the diagnosis became, I had pulmonary embolism, and they said that I had multiple blood clots in both of my lungs, and it was a very serious illness. And they ended up putting me in a helicopter to transfer me to the heart hospital. And so I had never been in a situation like that before, and I had 4 kids who were younger. My youngest was 5, and so they would have been 5, 6, 9, and 12 at the time. And having to leave them and go into the hospital and not know, obviously it was an emergent situation. We didn't know what the outcome would be. And so I remember being put into the helicopter and the paramedic telling me as we're getting in, he said, now if you start to feel like you're panicked, or like it's too much for you, let me know, and I can give you something in your IV to help you calm down. And so I said okay, and we took off, and we were in the air for a little bit, and it started to, I started to feel claustrophobic, and I started to feel afraid and worry about what if this, and what if this, and what is happening to me, and what about my kids, and where are they, and it started to become overwhelming. And so I closed my eyes to try to hold myself together, and I stayed like that for a minute, and the panic, the fear, it just held on. And so I was just about to signal to him that, yes, please, I need some help with this because this is too much. And I opened my eyes, and when I did, we were flying over a river. And as far as you could see, left and right was just water, and the nature of that, the shoreline of the river, and it was just very peaceful. And it was almost as if someone switched on the radio in my little headset that I was wearing. And, of course it wasn't there. It was in my mind, but it felt so real that there was, that it was almost audible, a song that started playing. And the words, when I opened my eyes and I see this river, the words that came were, who taught the sun where to stand in the morning, and who told the ocean you can only go this far, if you know that song, and who showed the moon where to hide till evening, whose words alone can catch a falling star. I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. And so, that song is beautiful, and if you have a chance to go listen to My Redeemer Lives, go and listen to that. It's a beautiful song. But the peace that came into that helicopter with me in that moment, when I could hear that song in my mind and feel the presence so real that I wasn't alone and that everything was going to work out and be okay. It's indescribable, the peace that I felt and the comfort that he brought in that time of mourning, in that time of fear and being out of control, and having that reassurance of the peace that he was in control and he had it all worked out and he was going to make everything work out for good for me. So it was a blessing, even though, I still had to walk through the sickness and the illness and being in the hospital. And, at one point they had to give me a very strong clot busting drug, and I had to be in the ICU with possibilities of complications, and it was all very scary, but there still was a peace and a comfort that came in knowing that he had that under control, even though I was mourning my plans, what I thought. That definitely wasn't something that I woke up in the morning and expected to happen. And he brought me comfort and peace in that time when I was so scared and so out of control. So, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. All right, so we are going to say goodbye for today, and we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the third one. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. All right, see you tomorrow.